Three, two, one, and we're live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Fabulites. This is Angela with another edition of Notes on the News. The channel is Be Fabulous You. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, all of those other wonderful things that we do. Hi, hi. Not news, notes on the news. It's not news, just like the title says. It's just our notes on some headlines that I had selected. Some of these headlines are just headlines that I thought were interesting. What's up, Kendrick? Some of these headlines, I might have read a paragraph or two of the article. Some of these items, I have read the whole article. Some of these items, I'm an expert in that area of expertise, in that area of the subject matter of the article. But it's not news, it's just our notes on the news. I'm just giving you some my thoughts. We sharing ideas about the particular items. You know, we generally in the past start with one of the Nguzo Saba, one of the seven principles of Kwanzaa. We are currently still working through endarkenment.com. It's back. And since I don't remember where we were going forward, we're going to start with Principle 7 and loop back. And y'all know, you never know when you're going to see me. So when we say like, share, comment, subscribe, also remember to hit that notifications bell. And then that way you will know when I'm back, when I come live. So you can come join the chat. Share your input. Give your notes on the news. What's new and good? What are you looking forward to? Well, what's new and good? What are you excited about? What's happening in your family? Just the other day, ma'am, how's Apple doing? He's doing well. It's going well with me. Life is good. We all blessed. We all here and we fighting. So it's a good day. We take it. So we are going to go into the principle of Imani, which is the seventh principle of Kwanzaa, the Nguzo Saba. It means faith if you're using the English language, which I guess we are. Oh, I love to see you too. Faith. To believe with all of our heart in our Creator, in our people, in our parents, our teachers, our leaders, and the righteousness and victory of our struggle. So, how can we believe more fully and with our whole heart in our Creator, our people? How can we believe in our people? How can we believe in our parents, our teachers, our leaders, and the righteousness and victory of our struggle? Every time we go through that one, I just love that part of it. The righteousness and victory of our struggle. Do you believe in the righteousness and the victory of our struggle? Oh, with this camera, I have to stay still. Ooh, that light is hitting me right in my glasses. It's kind of fuzzy too, huh? Yeah. Okay. The seventh, so we're just going to read one paragraph from the essay in darkenment.com slash Kwanzaa. I don't really know what the rest of it is, but they have a collection of essays on the Kwanzaa principles. So again, we're on Imani. The seventh principle is faith, which is essentially a profound belief in and commitment to all that is of value to us as a family. So, what's of value to us as a family? Do we believe in that? Are we committed to that? How do we demonstrate our belief and our commitment to what is important to us as a family? Profound belief in and commitment to all that is of value to us as a family, community, people, and culture. In the context of African spirituality, it begins with a belief in the Creator, in the positiveness of the creation, and logically leads to a belief in the essential goodness and possibility of the human personally. For in all African spiritual traditions from Egypt on, it is taught that we are in the image of the Creator and thus capable of ultimate righteousness and creativity through self mastery and development in the context of positive support. Therefore, a faith in ourselves is key here. Faith in our capacity as humans to live righteously, self correct, support, and care for, and be responsible for each other, and eventually create the just and good society. Hey, Captain PYT, how you doing? All right, so there you go. Yeah, that's kind of these little essays, little as they are, is kind of a lot going on. So that is the Kwanzaa principles, and let's see if we can move on to the next segment, which is called Yo Buddha. What up, though? Hey, I see. How are you, sis? What up, though, Buddha? What up? What up? Hmm. I think the Buddha has been cutting back like me. All right, this is from Pariyati Daily Words of the Buddha. If by renouncing a lesser happiness, one may realize a greater happiness, let the wise one renounce the lesser, having regard for the greater. Let something go so that you can get something better. Let something of less value go so that you can get something of greater value. So if there's something that you can renounce that brings you happiness, but maybe there's something you can embrace that would bring you greater happiness, go ahead and do better, be better. Go ahead. What you waiting for? You're wise. Renounce the lesser and have regard for the greater. Okay. So let's jump right on to the news feed. I'm gonna try not to use my phone. Since I'm not recording on my tablet, I can use my tablet. And I think that might be a little easier to navigate. I wanted to try that out to see. So go ahead and drop in the comments whether you're live or on the replay. Go ahead and drop what's thanks for the thumbs up. Go ahead and drop in the comments what you're excited about in life, what's going well for you personally, your family, and your community. Let's share some good news here. Share the good news. Don't be stingy. Shit. We need the good news. Maybe this particular camera will make me be more like more zen or like more serene instead of like yeah. And then another thing, da, da, da. I'll just be like yes. And then another thing. Okay, so let's jump right into the news feed and see what articles we got going on here. All right. So I'm good. I'm all good. I'm all good. Stevie Wonder reveals he's getting a kidney transplant. Um, yep. So Stevie Wonder is getting a kidney transplant. That's coming off of Atlanta Black Star. Atlanta Black Star. Oh, wait. Let's try that again. Atlanta Black Star. Am I spelling it correct? .com. Captain PYT says it's difficult to answer that. It feels like I'm on a slippery slope towards seeking happiness within Babylon. Yeah. And I hear what you're saying, and I'm not saying that it's always an easy question to ask, but I am a firm believer in what we focus on grows. I can hear the replay going on back there. The delay. Close the door. Close the door. Um, and so, even though it's difficult, it's a good practice to focus on what we're grateful for, to focus on what's working, to focus on what we can build upon as a community, to focus on our strengths, to focus on our blessings. And in that way, we give those things our light, our love, our energy, and they grow and develop. Part of what I believe is happens to us in this society is the with the vampirism of our energy is that we get drawn with our energy and our attention to a whole bunch of mess and confusion that's not for us. And that our energy is then used to build and maintain and perpetuate the the system that at the same time that it raises up whites, it has to by definition eat off of and kill and destroy and exploit black folks. So Yeah. What today? I went to school and had an English vocabulary 19. I had 100% on my test. On my grammar English, I had 95% and a pass. Woo! I understand. I'm not saying it's easy. I just invite you to, and sometimes when I first got trained to do this work, it was from Black Women's Health Project Reevaluation Co-Counseling. And when we would start with what's new and good, a lot of times we struggle to figure that out and to be able to vocalize it. And one of the things that I learned is to, even if you don't have anything to claim, then claim your breath, because the breath that you're taking in right now is new and it's good. It's good that you're taking a breath, and we're glad that you're taking a breath. So we claim that if we can't figure out anything else to claim. And as we claim that and we build on our breath and we build on our consciousness and we build on our life, we'll be able to claim other things. Oh, no worries about the feedback. All right. So, um, so prayers out. That story was coming off of Atlanta Black Star. So prayers out to Stevie Wonder as he goes through his surgery. I'm not really sure what goes on and what causes someone to be having kidney surgery. I don't really understand, stuff like that very well. I get the kidney and the liver confused. Astrologically, I get them confused too. So I'm not, and I don't, yeah, I'm not sure why. But again, prayers out to Stevie Wonder, who used to be known as Little Stevie Wonder. And Stevie Wonder, his music, like if you just ever, whenever I'm like, oh, let me listen to some Stevie Wonder, it's like, it's this song and it's that song, My Cherie. I mean, it's like, drop in the comments some Stevie Wonder jams. I'm going to drop in My Cherie more. I don't know how you spell that. Is it me, Cherie, Amour? That's in the devil's French language. I don't know how to spell that. But Stevie Wonder has some jams. Living Just Enough for the City. Living Just Enough for the City. Um, yeah, Stevie Wonder had for the city. Living Just Enough for the city. That was the jam. That's. I mean, I'm sure it's more that I could think of. So anyway, prayers out for a successful surgery. Blessings and protection as he goes through the procedure, as he's preparing for the procedure. May his body be strengthened. The people who are performing the surgery, maybe they be blessings. May the operation be blessing, and just end of everything, and come out in divine order. So yeah, that's what's going on with Stevie Wonder. He say, "I'm all good." Okay. Amazon staff will strike during Prime Day over working conditions. I have a colleague who told me that everything is wonderful at Amazon. I'm like, I'm always constantly, at least on Not News, we always talking about how Amazon Prime, the workers they not feeling good about being there. Are they just whiny and complaining? They don't know how to be grateful for not having air conditioning and falling out, and the company won't fix it. My colleague told me, he said, warehouses never have air conditioning. And I said, well, the people are falling out and they got the ambulances outside to get them. That's what I heard. I've heard a couple of things about Amazon. I'm praying for our musical legend, strength for Stevie Wonder. I've heard a couple of, yes, Ashe. I've heard a couple of things, more than a couple of things about Amazon. Now we see the workers are planning to strike on Prime Day. Now I've been having my eye on an Instapot, but I don't know. I'm not going to participate in Prime Day this year. I've never done it in the past, but now I'm kind of sort of like, by extension, an Amazon Prime member and everything. But like, I'm not here for Amazon. So, um, yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Facebook's in talks to literally circle Africa with undersea data cables. Google talks internet expansion. Now, this isn't the first time I've seen this story. The first time that I saw this story was probably about 6 months ago, give or take a couple few months. Like, it's not been a long, long time ago, but it hadn't been that long ago. Now, who do they negotiate with to circle the African continent? Because we do understand, of course, that there are bitty 53, 54, 55 countries in Africa. So are they negotiating with every single country in the continent? Are they negotiating with the coastal? Like, how does that work? And why? And how do we feel about having them just, big brother just encircling the awe of our continent? And whether, however we feel about it, what can we do? Hey, Mr. Awesome Anthony, what up? What up? Welcome, welcome. So that story is also coming off of AtlantaBlackStar.com if you want to look into that a little bit more. Sometimes it's sort of like it's like the situation that we're in as Black folks is a really, really big situation. There are a lot of moving pieces and a lot of dynamics. Now, sometimes when you're analyzing situations, if they seem too complicated to you, then you haven't really gotten at the core of the issue. But this situation for Black folks, y'all, it just seems so complicated to me. And it just makes me feel a little, it's like a little overwhelming. It's a lot overwhelming. So yeah, and I'm not even a fan of having a Facebook account, let alone Facebook literally circling the African continent. I just, that's a lot. God help us. Is there, if you pray for us? And have we been praying to God to help us? Okay. Um, Viral video captures boy begging dad not to call cops on Black man for trespassing. I didn't read this story. I think I might have clicked on it. Somehow the guy was, it said hashtag Black while visiting. So I guess that the Black man was visiting his friend or someone. I'm not really sure. I'm not really clear. And maybe you know something about this story. I'm just reading the headline and I hit the article, but I was like, I can't read it. God is our inner self. So have we been asking our inner self for help and guidance and freedom? We were talking last night and there's an article on the news feed about the fact that, you know what I really just want today? I want to be free and I want to figure out how to escape this system. I want to figure out how to escape being downtrodden as a Black person. I want to figure out how to escape being concerned about being beaten on the street. I want to escape a system that exploits me in terms of the housing market, exploits me educationally, exploits me medically, exploits me in every single way, you know? And I just want to escape and I want to be free. Like, that's what I want. I want to escape and I want to be free. I really want to be free, but I think I have to escape in order to be free. But we were talking about the fact that 400 years ago, 300 years ago, 200 years ago, 100 years ago, Black folks was trying to escape and be free. So yeah, and that's kind of um I don't know. That's deep, and it's disturbing, and it's kind of like, wow, you know how when people say, if you look at Black land ownership in this country 100 years ago versus now, we own more land then than we own now. Like, in lots of ways, we're worse off now as a community and as a people than we were in the past. Even though some of us are doing better as a whole, as a collective, as a community, we're not doing better, and in some areas, we're doing worse. Okay, and not because, yeah, okay, yeah, okay. So that story I told you is coming off of Atlanta Black Star. And then for those of you who are into Disney, I'm not into Disney. I don't think I've ever been to Disney World or Disneyland. The last amusement park that I can remember going to is Cedar Point as a senior in high school, and that's in Ohio, an amusement park. And I rode the Demon Drop. It was very, very exciting. you go all the way up, 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 and then you get to the top and you can just look down and then the thing just drops. That was like the height of everything then. And I waited in line to ride that thing probably about 4 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours. It felt like forever. And on the way, to see your point, it's like we gonna like demon drop, the demon drop, the demon drop. And I got in line, I got on the thing, I went up, what, up, 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 up. And then that moment when I got to the top and I looked down and I'm like, what the hell am I doing? And why did I do this? And then it was like you just dropped. But then you survived. So it was kind of exciting. It was like all your adrenaline was going because I was like, surely this is the dumbest thing I've ever done and I'm about to die. Whoosh! And then you didn't die. So it was kind of exciting. Everybody kept talking about Black Mermaid is complaining about that cartoon. Oh yeah, you talking about the child Ariel? Oh, Halle. One of my colleagues said I heard Halle Berry's daughter was going to be playing the mermaid. I'm like, that child is not Halle Berry's daughter. Anyway, so this is for those of you who are into Disneyland, Disney World, all of that. This video captures violent family brawl at Disneyland. I don't care about no video. I'm ready to go to jail tonight. And that's a quote that's in the headline. This story is coming off of thegrio.com. So if you'd like to know more about that. And I don't know if it's like, they just hot because they waiting in line. They waiting on these long. I don't know what happened. I didn't read the article. It seemed very un-Disney like, although they say Disney is kind of like a brutal place, especially when it comes to Black folks. But anyway, the company, like not the illusion of what Disney is, but the actual practical company. Oh, is that why you were talking about the princess? Because I mentioned Disney and Ariel is a Disney. I was talking about Disneyland, but we're going to get to that in a minute. Okay. White Arizona man says he was being proactive to slash Black teens' throat over rap music. Attorney blames mental illness. That's also coming off of Atlanta Black star Kendrick. What is my middle name? Is it Grio? I don't know what your middle name is. Okay, so that's coming off of Atlanta Black Star. I only looked at the headline. These grown men and then groups of people attacking one person, this like bullying and aggressive and like hostility and craziness that the pinks have or the grays have or whatever. It's like I don't like why grown people are attacking children, why groups of people are attacking one person, why they feel proud of that, why they're impressed. Like I don't like understand it. I don't appreciate it. Prayers out to the teen, the young man. Oh, Toussaint Louverture. Is it one of those? Louverture? Toussaint? We were talking about Toussaint Louverture the other night. Okay, so that story is coming off of the Atlanta Black Star, and then this whole thing of mental health in terms of the pinks and the grays being very aggressive and hostile. Like the whole society is crazy. Like in a whole society of crazy people, how do you isolate some of them out and say that they're more crazy or less crazy? Is the system of pushing Black people down and then elevating whites at the expense of Blacks? Is that like not crazy? Is that sane? Like I don't really understand the whole like insanity thing. So I don't really know. But yeah, his attorney blames mental illness. I feel like the whole society is mentally ill. I feel like like all of us are crazy. Like how do you function? How are you sane in a crazy context? I don't think any of us can be sane because the context is crazy. We're not creating and perpetuating the context totally completely, although we do participate in it because I feel like everybody in this system is a part of upholding and maintaining the system of white supremacy. Sometimes we're not even conscious that we're participating in it. Like I think the more consciousness we have, the more ways that we can unplug from the system. But I feel like as long as we're plugged into the system, then we're a part of perpetuating and maintaining the system of white supremacy or whatever. White. I had to come up with a whole bunch of other names, but I forgot already. Um, okay, so that's yeah, that's that. Coco Golf loses at Wimbledon, ending tennis phenom's magical run. So it's a young black woman, unambiguously black, who was inspired by the Venus and Serena, the Williams sisters. She's out there at Wimbledon. She was doing real well, but she lost today. I saw a little news story of her losing, and it's like the headline was Coco Golf, her streak ends or whatever. But all of the B-roll as they were talking was focused on this white woman, and then right at the end they showed this quick shot of Coco shaking hands. Coco is her nickname. I forget her first name. Shaking hands with, I guess, the white woman, and it's sort of like, well, the story was supposed to be about her. Why didn't they focus on her? Like the optics didn't fit the story. But I mean, it's not exactly surprising because of the context that we're in. That's how they do things. So yeah, yeah. Okay. So that's what's going on. You can find that story on thegrio.com or probably anywhere. Atlanta mayor taps TI for task force to repurpose the city jail. I don't think I would tap TI, Tip, the rapper. What would I tap him for? The tap him to put him in the line for foolishness. That's what I would tap him for. I don't know anything about the mayor of Atlanta. I remember when they were like, at the end, it was like three or four people who were running, or there was something going on. Is the mayor a black woman? Is she tapping Ti? I mean, it's like Ti in his way tries, but he seems like a misogynistic butthole to me. Like it's something about him that just I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm just like really missing something. And I used to watch his little TV show here and there sometimes, but I don't know. It's no, it's. I wouldn't tap Ti for anything. What y'all think about Ti being tapped for the mayor's task force on repurposing the city jail? I don't know anything about the jail in Atlanta. What's up with that? So they have a city jail. They want to repurpose it. Yeah, I don't know anything about that story. Again, that's coming off the grill. IVF, that's like in vitro fertilization mix up. Couples as they gave birth to the wrong child. So the man and the woman, I guess they take this sperm and the egg and then they put it in a test tube and shake it up and then the fertilization happens and then they had a baby, the baby in the test tube, baby in the making or whatever, then they put it in the mama's belly and I guess they put the wrong baby in the woman's belly. It was somebody else's baby. And I think the people were Asian and she was white. They were, so they were like really devastated and upset. And then I actually saw, I guess I watched the news today. I actually saw a story where a couple was like, it happened to them like 5 or 10 years ago. And that couple, they still don't know where their baby is. They done gave their sperm and their egg, they shook it up in the test tube. And then we guess they don't put that child in somebody else's belly. And that child is probably living the life thinking they somebody else's child. And then it's like if the baby is in your belly, like actually in your body, it seems like there's a kinship there. Like, even though I guess the egg and the sperm are not related to you, how can something be in your body for 9 months and not be related to you? Like, doesn't it connect with your bloodstream and like it seems like that's like your relative. It's connected. Something's going on. That's what it seems like to me. Okay. So anyway, that's that. And that story is coming off of bbc.co.uk, but I guess that's big news all over the place. Gave birth to the wrong children. How this nonprofit is changing the way minorities get in. I don't even remember. Oh, this is coding in the classrooms. So Google is doing something called Code in the Classroom. Do you know how to code? Do you read and write computer code? We were talking about that the other day, like how it's like 2019 and like we're basically functionally like illiterate if we don't know any programming languages or many programming languages. And I have to admit, I'm really ashamed and stressed out about it, but I'm like just functionally illiterate when it comes to code. And they say that more and more, hey, Brother Danubian, we're going to be being left behind. Those of us who aren't literate when it comes to technology. We're not technologically literate. So Google, our good friend Google, is helping the minority children with their program called Code in the Classroom, Coding in the Classroom or something. So yeah, that's what going on with that. That story is coming off of Engadget.com. Is that how you spell Engadget? Mm, oh, DG. Engadget.com. If you'd like to read more about that. Okay. Um, Content moderators break their NDAs, non disclosure agreements, to expose desperate working conditions at Facebook. So I guess when you get a job at Facebook, they like, look, you got to sign this. You can't tell nobody what is going on in this dungeon. You can't tell the people what's going on in this hellhole. And these people are like, you can sue me. I'm about to tell the people what's going on at Facebook. What's going on Facebook? I didn't read the story, but that's coming off. Oh, that's coming off of Moguldom. That's a black blog. Oh, let me get this. So, moguldom.com. I'm not really participating in the chat, just sort of kind of. Okay. So, yeah. So I don't know the desperate working conditions at Facebook. I don't know what's going on at Facebook. We're not a fan of Facebook. And they talking about circling Africa. And they've been talking about it. So they've been in negotiations. Is it like a done deal? Yeah. Okay. So first look. Robin Thede and Thede. I don't know. I used to watch. She used to have a late night show. Robin Thede. It was called. I can't remember what it was called, but it was like on BET. It was a half-hour show. It was like it would come on Thursday nights. The rundown with Robin Thede or Thede. I still don't know her name, but anyway. First look. Robin Thede and Issa Rae unveil hilarious new series, A Black Lady Sketch Show. I know some people who don't like Issa Rae, and I kind of thought that Robin Thede, she was like a little bit shallow in her analysis, but it was like a half-hour sketch show. They did do some political content, but it was like real low grade, like comedy type political, like yeah, it just that's just what it was. It wasn't. So anyway, that's going to be coming, a Black Lady sketch show. Are you going to be watching? Are we watching what we think? I know some people don't like Issa Rae. I still haven't seen the show. I don't have anything against Issa Rae. I still haven't seen the movie where with the little girl from Blackish who wrote the movie on her hiatus, and then she's like a little. But I kind of want to see that movie. Was it called Little? I don't remember what it's called. I'm just impressed with the little girl. And her character was so evil on Blackish. The couple few episodes I watched, she was like kind of funny. And maybe it was like tradition, like typical that the little dark skinned girl was the evil mean one, and the light skinned older one was the sweet smart one. But the little dark girl, she was smart. She was just a little evil. And then her twin brother, he seemed like a little doy, and he was like light skinned. So I don't know. I haven't done any like in depth analysis of that. So that's going to be coming. Teen killed by white man who says rap music made him feel unsafe. We just covered this story, but this is also on thegrio.com. I didn't cover the story. I mean, we talked about the headline a minute ago. The headline was written slightly different, but it's the same story. So you can also read what the Griot has to say about that particular story. The last headline, we didn't know that I didn't know that teen was killed. So prayers out to his family and community, and prayers out to his soul as he's making his transition. And may the ancestors greet him and welcome him and embrace him. Portland grocery workers okay to strike. I wonder what grocery store is striking in Portland. I'm all for a strike. I'm all for workers getting together. sometimes I feel like when you work at a place, they're like really, really in your business. Like you almost have to ask for permission to like live your life or like, and it's kind of like it's a lot. And I'm like, are you paying me? I mean, like, is like, I don't think you own me. I don't think you could pay enough to own me. And so I'm going to live my life and I'm going to do what I'm going to do. It just seems a certain way. So I guess, I mean, not that I'm going to strike, which I mean, I guess I could, but like I'm all for people organizing and advocating for themselves. I was thinking about the other day, or maybe it was this morning, I think I was listening to it, Rami, this idea that the workers, like all 400 of us, all 200 of us, all 8,000 of us have to get together to fight the owner. And the owner is usually like one person, but it takes like all of us to get together to fight one person. What's that about? Like, I feel like there's something going on in our psyches where it's like one small group, and it doesn't just show up in the work in labor relations, but it shows up, like all over the world. It's like one small group is like running roughshod over the rest of us. Like, how does that happen? How does that work? I don't understand. Well, I don't know. I know that a lot of people, that's just like white people are like, well, people are people. White people, black people. I know that a lot of black people are like, well, black people are black people, light skin, dark skin. But there has been, just like there's been a system of, as part of the system that keeps black people at the bottom, the darker you are, the lower to the bottom you are. And the lighter you are, and the closer, the more proximity you have to whiteness, the higher up you are on the hierarchy. So there's actually a hierarchy in the black community that's a reflection of the system of white supremacy. And sometimes when I think just like white people sometimes claim, or maybe they don't, experience racism, they're like, there's no racism because I don't see it. I think that sometimes light skinned people are like, there's no colorism because I don't see it. But then when you're my color, like I sometimes look around, it's like I never see dark skinned black woman. Like I was just talking about what's this child show on the Red Table Talks. And once again, they had another white woman on there. It's like I used like let's say they've had maybe out of 20 or 30 guests, I think there's been only one black woman, and on like who was dark skinned, like unambiguously black. And on the show where she was on, there was like a white woman. So it almost felt to me like they had to balance her out. But almost all of the other women that she's had on her show have been light skin, white, light skin, white, light skin. And I'm kind of like, where the people who look like me? Where I mean, so I know that different people have had different experiences of things, and I guess everybody is entitled to their experience. So yeah, okay. So U.S. Music Festival cancels policy of charging white people double. I've been hearing like bits and pieces of this story. When I put this in my news feed, I didn't realize that it was a part of. There's a story that I saw a little bit of yesterday where some rapper said she's not gonna go to some festival, and I think she was like a Detroit rapper, but I didn't really know who she was. I didn't know what festival they were talking about, but I think it's this festival where they want to charge white people double. I remember a couple months ago there was a food truck where it would be like, this is the price, but if you're white, you should pay double. And most of the white people would pay double. I think it was a food truck, but maybe it was a restaurant. I'm not really sure. But yeah. So this festival, so they canceled their policy of charging white people double. I don't really know what I don't really I don't really know. I don't really know. I don't know what the story is with it. So, does anybody know? Should should the white people be charged double? They charge us black tax on so many things. We pay more than other people for other things. We have better credit. We pay more for our mortgage. We all kinds of things happen. Where we pay more money for a less lower quality product. Anyway, I don't know anything about that. That's coming off of bbc.co.uk, but you can probably find that story anywhere. Facebook built a tool to track misinformation about itself. It's the third story I've done about Facebook today. Facebook is like Big Brother, like seriously. And they also are so serious that they don't want you out here. If you're saying anything bad about them, they have a tool to know who's saying something bad about them. Probably the people who share things on the Facebook feed about like Facebook ain't nothing. Facebook, whatever people are saying about Facebook, they sold people's information. They acting like they don't know what's going on. Facebook probably have your behind on the list, and that's why your stuff keeps getting blocked, and why certain things you get over moderated, and they have their eyes on you like real intense. Because Facebook is Big Brother, and Big Brother is watching you, and Big Brother is not going to tolerate anybody saying anything bad about Big Brother. That's Facebook. Facebook ain't playing out here. That's coming off of Engadget.com too. ICE and FBI use facial recognition to search driver's license databases. So ICE has to do with immigration. ICE. What does ICE stand for? Immigration and Customs Enforcement. I'm not sure. Um, so they're using, going through the driver's license databases, and I guess they're trying to connect that with people who have overstayed their visas or whatever, and get them. So can you get a driver's license if you're not a? I don't really know how all of that works because I was born here and I'm a citizen, although I don't trust this system. So I feel like even though my status, theoretically that's my status, I know that that's not like truly my status, as evidenced by the fact is it's been pointed out to me. Like if they have to legislate, like one of the young women I was working with, she's like, I'm so happy because California now you can't discriminate against people because of their hair. I'm like, girl, if we have to have legislation so that we can have be at peace with the hair that grows out of our head, then something is wrong. That is not like they don't have that same legislation for the other people who are part of the society. So if they have to have special legislation for us, that shows that we're in a special different category, which is the 3/5 of a citizen category. We are not full citizens. That story is coming off of BBC. So yeah, so I think I must. I think theoretically I'm a citizen. I've traveled with my passport before. Um, yeah, for whatever that means. The best free to play games. You play games on your computer, on your phone, on your tablet. I used to. I don't play any games anymore like that, like just for like passing the time or entertainment. So, but anyway, Engadget.com has an article if you're looking for the best free to play games. I like free games, but then they put all those ads in there. And then the other thing about playing those games that I noticed is that hours would go by and I wouldn't have anything to show for it. Like I didn't get a little bit further in a book. I didn't know more about what was going on in the world. I hadn't written anything. I hadn't studied my tarot. Like I had just played the game. Maybe I relaxed. Did the game help me to relax and make me feel better because I was relaxed? So yeah, I don't know. But if you're looking for games and you want some free ones, then Engadget has told us the best free to play ones, Engadget.com. What summertime means for Black children. I didn't read that article. It's coming off of moguldom.com. Y'all hear Bella shaking? She can't get up on the couch, so you won't see her when I'm here because she can't get up here. I didn't read the article, but when I saw that, and that's coming off of moguldom.com, I just said that. I thought about the fact that for a lot of children, the 1 mil like who are dealing with issues, children and their families who are dealing with issues of food insecurity, as in sometimes we're not sure where our next meal is going to come from, what we're going to have to eat, if anything. And so children during the school year, I don't even know, maybe they don't provide free food to children in schools anymore because we've been having this ongoing conversation about all of this school lunch debt that children are incurring. So Yeah, I'm not sure, kind of what the deal is, but that was the thing that came up for me. Like during the summertime, a lot of times children really don't know, where they're going to get meals. Look, I got shadows all over my forehead. Where they're going to get meals from. The one meal that they thought that they might get a day at school. Where they going to get that one meal? Definite. So anyway, yeah, that again is coming off of moguldom.com. Viral video ice cream liquor could face 20 years behind bars, police say as they close in. So y'all remember, was it Jazzy Ray? There was a young woman who went away to college and she was minding her own business. And she had a roommate who was obsessed with hating her and making her sick. And her roommate would do disgusting, foul, jacked up things like spitting in her coconut oil or rubbing her sanitary napkins on the bag that sat over the child's head, or just all kinds of foul and disgusting things. So I mean, and then the only way that the young woman, the black woman who had gone to college, gone to school, was trying to better herself, was minding her own GD business, had this stalker who was obsessed with her, who was trying to kill her. This child was getting sick. The young black woman who was being the child was doing all kinds of disgusting things to her spoon, her fork, her food, her just her personal space, and I think the child's name is Jazzy, was getting sick. And the only way that anyone knew that this was going on is because the pink gray person thing was posting it on social media, and somebody was like, "Hey, this is what's going on." The black child had been going to health services like, "I'm sick. I don't know why I'm sick." They couldn't figure out what was going on. She was being poisoned. So whatever happened to that child? The white child, the pink child, are they gonna give her 20 years? I mean, I'm just curious. Some Ayapo pointed that out. I'm like, yeah. Whatever happened to her? Did she get 20 years? Was the people in the uproar? I mean, it was disgusting seeing that person lick that ice cream thing and put it back. I think that food companies need to have better systems of food security. Like when certain things have plastic around them, I'm not a big fan of plastic, but then oh, someone has opened this if the plastic seal is broken. I mean, like it seemed like you shouldn't be able to just like open up food and then and you not knowing when you buy it. But anyway, that's what's going on with that situation and that child. That's coming off of thegrio.com. That child, she looks blackish. She's brown, isn't she? I don't know what her background is. I don't know who she is, but in that video, and this story is coming off the griot. So I'm thinking that this child must be black or brown or something non-white, as and then it's been pointed out that once they were like, we're going to throw the book at her, Ayapo said, I know she's black because the way they acted. I'm like, yeah, yeah. Okay. Woman captures shocking moment. Ohio police shoots into car with two black men at gas station, killing one. That's coming off of AtlantaBlackStar.com. I didn't read that story. Prayers out to the families and communities, and to all of us who are affected directly and indirectly, even when we don't know the details of the situation, the terror of the situation that we're living in, the terror of the circumstances that we're living in. It's like low grade, like when you have like a low grade headache. It may not be debilitating. It may not stop you from going to work. It may not stop you from going to the movies, but it's like always there and you can like feel it, and it's like a stressor for you. And it's like we have a low grade terrorism situation going on. We're constantly being terrorized. Like we know, on some level, even when we're not talking about it, even when it's not like right on the surface, that anything could happen at any time. And we're just vulnerable to being attacked and killed and murdered, followed, stalked, harassed, challenged, humiliated, abused, raped, and just with no repercussions, just because we exist. Hey, Redbird 101. And so it's like that low grade terror when we hear about what's going on with our brothers and sisters, our aunties, our uncles, our mothers, our fathers, our children, our grandparents, the unborn children. It's a stress to us. On some level, some of us are more conscious of it, some of us are more sensitive to it, but it creates a situation of stress and terror for us. That's like the way terrorism works. If they blow up a bus, every time, if the terrorists blow up the bus, and so that way people are like, oh, I don't know if I should get on the bus because if I get on the bus, maybe I'll be blown up. Remember when they something happened in a movie theater? It was like about 5 or 10 years ago, but I remember for a while it was kind of like, if I go to a movie, what is something gonna happen? And every time I went to a movie, I'd be like trying to see where the exits were. So yeah, just terrorism, terrorism. So again, prayers out to the man who made his transition, and again, may the ancestors embrace him and greet him and support him as he makes his transition, and just lots of love and support for his direct family and all of us in the indirect family, and for the person who witnessed someone being killed directly and indirectly, shoots into a car with two black men at a gas station. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't have the. I just right now I can't. So, if anybody again wants to know more about that story, that's coming off of Atlanta Black Star. But again, it's a reminder for us to really focus on, as much as we can, taking care of ourselves. And I don't mean taking care of ourselves like as in respectability politics, like pull your pants up, don't have your rap music on too loud, don't have your hat cocked to the side, smile, be friendly, don't challenge the police. I don't mean take care of yourself like that. I mean take care of your spirit, take care of your soul, take care of yourself, nurture yourself, love yourself, acknowledge that we're under stress, and do the things that you need to do that help you to work on healing, help you to work on wholeness. Um, you know, let's take care of yourself. Let's take care of each other. Be kind to someone. Show some compassion to one of us or two of us. Just keep that circle of black love going, because we need each other's energy. Now more than ever. Um, And so yeah, there were two things, like just take care of yourself, and and then just like have your spirit be right, whatever that means to you. Because so that's what I was going to say. Take care of yourself, have your spirit be right, whatever that means to you, so that you can be at peace. Because this life is not guaranteed, and we know that. Anything could happen to any of us at any time. We don't have any guarantees with it. So, just do everything that you can to live right and live well, and, be good in the world. And then also, not to disrespect or diminish, any of what's going on, out in the world, but also to just be aware of, as much as possible, staying focused on doing the work to move us forward, doing the work to give me free, give us free, doing the work so that we're not in a situation where it's the same shit, different day, SSDD. We're tired of that, and we need something else, and we're ready for something else. So let's continue to do the work and stay focused and stay on task, and not have our energy be distracted and pull it in a whole bunch of different directions that are not about us progressing toward our freedom and progressing toward escaping. Let us progress toward freedom. Let us progress toward escaping. Let us acknowledge, what's going on in the world. And at the same time, let's focus and refocus on the work that we need to do, the work that we're doing on amplifying the work that we're doing, on building, on loving each other, whatever it is that we can do, whatever little piece of thing that we can do that's moving us forward. Let us stay focused on those things as much as we can. Because sometimes when it's just like, oh, they killed another one of us. Oh, they killed another one of us. Like, you kind of start to get into that area of, so what we gonna do about that? And so then you start to get demoralized and frustrated. or I might start to get demoralized and frustrated. So I have to stay focused. We have to stay focused. I encourage you to stay focused on what we can do and what is working and what we can build on and what our pathway out. Give us free. How what's our escape plan? You got an escape plan? We need an escape plan. Ooh, we need an escape plan. Um, Research group says America's favorite TV size is now. Do you have a favorite TV size? I watch stuff on this thing. I watch stuff on this. My little Blackberry, look, it's coming apart. This happened today. It's very sad. I'm gonna ride this thing till the wheels fall off. I said it don't have no wheels, but I guess all the buttons are gonna fall off, and I'm gonna be like, I guess I gotta give me another BlackBerry. I don't want to pay that price. I'm so mad. And maybe I won't get a BlackBerry. Then I was supposed to research that black-owned phone company. I need to look into that. But that phone was expensive too. I feel like that phone was $300 or $400, and I'm like such a creature of habit. Okay. You know, there are some people in the world who are very silly, and we just ignore the silly people in the world. We don't. We don't acknowledge silliness. So America's favorite TV size is now what? What size TV do you have? This, according to Engadget.com, it's 65 inches. How big is 65 inches? 60, that's like 5 feet. How big is this TV? This TV might be 65 inches. This is a big TV. That one up there, y'all can't see it. It's behind you, but it's big. It's yeah, anyway. That's America's favorite TV size. The Disney heiress who has demanded a wealth tax on the ultra rich and thinks private jets should be outlawed finally sets the record straight on her personal net worth. This is coming off of Google.com. Oh, Business Insider. So I didn't even know that there was a Disney heiress who was out here talking all of that stuff. She act like she not part of the 1%. She like they need to be a wealth tax on the ultra rich. I'm surprised that they didn't kill her. I guess they figure ain't nobody listening to her. And she thinks that private jets should be outlawed. So anyway, that story is coming off of Business Outsider. Italian airline, quote, deeply apologizes, end quote, for using actor in blackface to portray Obama. That story is coming off of Atlanta Black Star. Miss Thang keep looking at me. I don't know if she have to go to the bathroom. You know, I'm listening. I don't know how long I've been. Oh, 58 minutes. Okay, it's almost time to stop. Miss Thang is staring at me. She just twisted her head. Go on somewhere. Go on. She's so intimidating, Bella the dog. She's just staring at me. And I don't know what it all means. Okay, stop being so bitter. Sherry Shepherd blasted by her ex for saying she married him out of loneliness. I guess she's saying that I guess he's taking it. I was like I think a lot of people, hey Sonia sees, I think a lot of people are with people out of loneliness. I think a lot of people are lonely. I think that companionship is very, very important. And I think especially in this digital world, I think real world companionship is very, very important. And I think a lot of people are with people out of loneliness. And on one hand, so I didn't necessarily take that as like an offensive comment, but I guess her ex-husband took it as an offensive comment. Hey, yeah, I'm lonely. And I feel like we need to, when we talk about what can, like as Black people, I feel like we need to connect with one another as much as we can, skin to skin, face to face, voice to voice, like real human, direct, personal connection, kneecap to kneecap, eyeball to eyeball. We need that. you know. She married a creep. Oh, did she? Yeah, I don't know. But I didn't, I was like, shoot, a lot of people do stuff out of loneliness. And Kendrick wants us to stop everything. And he wants to hear my personal opinion about what I think about black women wearing a wig all the time. I don't really know anything about it because I've never worn a wig, but I do know that being a black woman, that there is like so much pressure, especially like the darker you are and the nappier your hair is. It's like there's so much pressure on you to like it's like you're ugly, your hair is bad. And like so I feel like a lot of people I think just feel like really stressed out and like cover their hair up so that they can kind of feel some semblance of good about themselves, so that they can feel some semblance of beautiful, so they can feel some semblance of desirability. And so that I don't blame anybody. Just like I feel like if somebody is lonely and they, are with maybe not the best person, instead of Mr. Right, they with Mr. Right now or Mrs. Right now. I just feel like, we're human beings. And so I feel like, yeah, I don't know much about wigs and weaves and all of that, but I think that that's part of it. Just wanting to be a beautiful and attractive. I think it has to do with insecurity. Some people say that they're doing it as a protective style. I know I've gone to keeping my hair wrapped up. Well, I started wrapping it up in the wintertime as protection. But then variety is another reason. Variety is another reason. I started wrapping it up as protection for my hair. But then in the place that I was at, I just kept it wrapped as protection for my spirit and my psyche. So yeah, I mean, I think like I was listening to somebody and she was saying that like I don't know, I don't- like she was saying that like if you have your wig glued down and like all of that baby hair and stuff, it's kind of like not necessarily good. But if you're gonna do something, then I like my natural hair. If you're gonna do something, then wear a wig you can pull off. And then I feel like in a lot of environments, black men can go in and just have their hair cut short, and it's kind of like it's considered acceptable in many workplaces. I feel like in other workplaces, whether it's direct or indirect, black women, like the more tightly curled your hair is, the more pressure there is on you to straighten your hair. This little girl that I worked with was like, she was talking about being a student, and she was like, people would like her little schoolmates would always be like, let's flat iron your hair. I'll flat iron your hair, flat iron your hair. Like they wanted her hair to be straight. And like I've heard other people say that in the workplace, even though nobody would necessarily tell them, hey, your nappy hair. I like the word nappy, but your tightly curled hair, curly hair, nappy hair, they don't say that's bad, we prohibit it. But whenever they would wear it straightened, the people would be like, oh, your hair, it looks so good. And so I just feel like I don't know if black men really have that experience of, kind of the pressure that we's under with this. I mean, it's like, and then yeah, yeah. So I don't know. I feel like I just love us, and I just want us to love ourselves and be free to be who we are, and be safe to be who we are. And I want us to be compassionate, of the things that different of us are going through that might be different from what you're personally going through. Like for example, like I feel like I had one guy and I was like fully grown. I was like 35 or something before anybody explicitly said to me something about like, you're pretty for a dark girl. Like, but growing up, I had certain experiences. But even though I haven't had certain types of experiences, like I feel very empathetic for the experiences that other people have had, and like how it impacts you. Like my boss called our hair special. Hey, a view from Tracy's Point. And I remember when like I was involved with a relationship and I shaved my head bald. I had locks. I had a whole bunch of hair. I had hair. And I shaved my hair bald. And people were like, what is, and they kept asking, what is the man that I was dealing with think? And I'm like, I don't know what he thinks. I don't care what he thinks. But it was like really striking to me how many people asked me, and it started to make me feel a little uncomfortable. Not like I'm like he better think it's good or else he can step off. but it started making me feel like I remember one of my sisters telling me that her husband had told her that a woman is not legally allowed to cut her hair in Michigan without her husband's permission. And I don't know if that's true or not, but I mean, it's just like sometimes people be under pressure that you may not have any personal experience of, but it's kind of serious out here. Older widows shave their hair in India too. Yeah. I think my shaved hair was the best thing, the best experience. I shave it, let it grow, shave it, let it grow. I think that's, but the only thing is that now I just like, because I've been seeing all the little girls on YouTube and all the women with I just want to have, instead of long locks, I want to have like long hair. But again, I don't know if I have the personality for it. I like to shave my head, says Sonia Sees. Yeah, I like to shave my head. So I don't know, but I've been keeping it covered. And yeah, yeah. So, um, so he said, stop being so bitter. And that makes me think that Sherry Shepherd's ex-husband, who Sonia C said was a creep, that he was offended that she said that she married him out of loneliness. So I don't know. I mean, maybe she was trying to offend him. I don't know, but I didn't really take it as an offensive statement. I was like, shoot, it can be lonely out here. We need, companionship is important. I remember when my sister shaved her head, says View from Tracy's Point, she always had long, thick hair. I thought my brother-in-law would die, but he got over it. They celebrated their 30th year on July 1st. Oh, happy 30th anniversary to your sister and your brother-in-law. Yeah. So yeah. Look at you, Kendra, getting the whole conversation going. So that's coming off of Atlanta Black Star. If you want to hear more about Sherry Shepherd's husband, I didn't read the story. I just looked at the title. Ohio man that now remember you see all these stories, Florida man, Florida man, Florida man, Florida man. Today the theme has been Ohio man. This is the second Ohio man story that we've had today. Who is this Ohio man? Ohio man has been hanging noose outside his home for more than 10 years. That story is coming off of Atlanta Black Star also. Who hangs a noose outside of their home? I don't even know what the story is. I didn't read the story. That just seems like that's like a very threatening thing. Like if my neighbor was hanging a noose outside, it would make me feel like nervous. Like I probably already feel nervous. When your neighbors, you already feel nervous when they pink and gray. When you like, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. I don't want no trouble. I know that. I know I don't want any trouble. I don't want any trouble. But like if somebody was hanging a noose outside, that seems like that we were talking about terrorism. That sounds like terrorism to me. That sounds like an implied threat, an explicit threat, an implicit threat. There's like a threat there. Is it explicit or implicit? Yeah, that's yeah, that would yeah, and I don't know. This is coming off of Atlanta Black Star, so I don't know where the story is coming from. Um, I mean, I don't know how the story became news, but because he's been doing it for 10 years, so now it's in the news. What's going on? I don't know, but yeah, that's on Atlanta Black Star. Coming off of thegrio.com, Lee Daniels to briefly resurrect his canceled Star drama series. I stopped watching that show. I had watched a couple of episodes. They had like the dark skinned black woman, they had like the mixed race black woman, and then they had the white woman, young women as the stars. And then Lee Daniels said something about he made the white woman the star because white people needed it or something. I don't know what he said, but I was just kind of like, ugh. Because when I was watching it, I guess I was just focused on the little chocolate girl. So I thought she was the star. I didn't know the white woman was the star. Nasty Lee Daniels, says Sonya Seed. So anyway, they're gonna make a little, a lot of times when they start series, they'll do like a little mini movie. I guess to end this series, they're gonna do a mini movie. So for all of you Star fans out there, we have any in the house, not me. But yeah, that's what's going on. Check it out. Check out thegrio.com if you want to know more about that story. Otto Wambier's family files claim on seized North Korean coal ship. Now that this story was interesting to me. This I told Wambir, and sorry if I'm pronouncing this young guy's name wrong. He's made his transition. I believe that this was the guy who was in North Korea. I think it's North Korea. I think South Korea they do like a lot of surgery. I think he was in North Korea, and he ended up being detained by the government as a spy, or they said that he had stolen a car a poster off the wall or something like that, and his family was trying to get him back, trying to get him back. They were trying to negotiate, and then when the child finally got sent back, he was basically in a coma and made his transition shortly thereafter. I think you can look him up. His first name is Otto, and because it's a hot story right now, he didn't follow the rules. Why have white women imitate black women on a show, says Sonia Seeds, and she says that Otto didn't follow the rules. But anyway, what I found interesting about this story is I'm like, so his family is filing a claim, like they have a lawyer. Like, how did they know that there was a North Korean coal ship that was seized by, I guess, the United States government? And they're filing a claim on it, like, as in they're trying to get money, like, oh, this coal ship is worth $28,000. And so, since our son was, murdered or whatever because he didn't follow the rules, or maybe he will know, but so we're filing this claim to get this coal ship. This is for money, right? And like, how did they know that the coal ship was here? Did they like really pay attention to news on North Korea? Yes, North Korea. Do they really pay attention to news on North Korea so that then, any little inkling of money they can like go like I don't I was just kind of like yeah, I'm like I don't what does it mean? What I didn't yeah, I didn't I was not curious enough about what it meant to actually click and read the story. But I'm just saying, it just the headline kind of like I was like, well, what? Oh. And then I went on to the next story. Chicago woman claims she was gang raped at R. Kelly's music studio. That's coming off of thegrio.com. Now the thing for me is like the idea of like a gang rape, because I just feel like sex and sexual intimacy is like between two people, and it's like beautiful and precious, or like, and then the idea of like raping somebody and gang raping somebody is like counter like humanity. It's like it's just so vile and so violent and just it's so disturbing. I don't know what the situation is, but just like even the idea of somebody being raped and like raped, a woman being raped, anybody being raped, and then raped by multiple people at the same time. And then like in those kind of situations, I always wonder like when one man is having sex with the woman, the other men are like, I'm waiting. Like, I don't know how does your mind work? Like, doesn't that seem like foul and vile? And like, what's wrong with a person that they wouldn't just be repulsed by it? Like, that some people are turned on by that. And that's very sad, to me. That story is coming off of thegrio.com again. I didn't, 7-Eleven's Japan's weak app security led to $500,000 customer loss. So I guess they have 7-Elevens in Japan, and they had some kind of app. I don't know what the app was for, but it was so weak that I guess people's information was stolen, and customers lost over like almost $500,000. And I always think, for whatever reason, maybe it's a stereotype, but I think of like Japan and China being technologically advanced. So I'm like, I know that, here these corporations are real slipshod with how they handle our privacy, how they handle our information, and stuff is always being hacked and lost. And oh, this was exposed and that was exposed. But for some reason, I don't know. I'm like, that happened in Japan. I mean, yeah. And then the way the story is framed, they said it was weak. Like they weren't like Japan's state of the art security was, bamboozled by these like high tech thieves. They like it was just weak. Their security was weak. So yeah, that's why I was just kind of like, I don't know. That story is coming off of Engadget.com. Alabama mall security responds to accusation of racial profiling. by letting K9, that's a dog, I believe, attack black teen. Now the mall is facing a lawsuit. That story is coming off of Atlanta Black Star. So just from the headline, I guess somebody said you racial profiling me, and maybe you following me around the store. You follow me around the store because I'm black. I think you follow me around the store because I'm black, a teenager. And then the mall security like said to the dog, go attack him. I don't know if it was a boy or a girl. Prayers out to that child, their family, the community, and all of us, because it affects all of us. It's a disturbance to all of us. It's an upset to all of us. Are the children well? We started reading. What is the name of that book we started reading? Post traumatic slave disorder by Joy DeGruy. We started reading that. And there's a section or like a whole conversation or a little conversation about how the Mosiah warriors, when they greet one another, whether they have children or they don't have children, they say, how are the children? Are all of the children well? Or something to that effect. And then the warrior will say back, even if they're like a young man and they don't have any children, they'll say all of the children are well. And so our children aren't well, you know? And yeah, we need to that's a disturbance. That's a problem for all of us. The children aren't well, the aunties aren't well, the cousins aren't well, the grandmas aren't well, the granddads aren't well, the uncles aren't well, the brothers, the sisters, the nieces, the nephews are not well. Our village is under attack. So yeah, Sonia, we talked about that story a couple times about the teen killed for listening to rap. I just saw the headline go across my feed a couple of times, and it ended up, I ended up pulling the story twice. I realized as I was going back through it, but I haven't actually, um, seen the story. But what can we do today? What can you do today for our children, for our future children, as in representing the future? What can we do for each other? What are we doing for our families and our communities? What are we doing to build? What can we do to build? What can we do to protect? What can we do to add to the health and the vitality of our families and our communities? Is there a child that you can look at that you can do something for, and then you can, build on that, focus on that child, show love and compassion and respect? Yeah, to ourselves. Start. I mean, I feel like it's yeah, like I just feel like it's so much that we have to do for ourselves, and I mean ourselves individually, ourselves as families, ourselves as communities. Like it's so much work that we have, to do on ourselves. Just showing love and respect and compassion, as Sonia C says. Um, Corey, the child's name is Cori, Corey Coco. Golf helps keeps historic run at Wimbledon at live with latest upset. Upset. I'm going to keep coming back. Of course, we know because we already had a story that came later that actually came earlier in our timeline that her streak is over. But we're all here for Corey Coco Golf. Power to her. She was, yeah. I'm not a tennis watcher, but I'm here for the little chocolate drop. A mother bear and her cub are on the loose in a California neighborhood. This story is coming off of Google.com, Business Insider. I'm just fascinated by the animals. One, because I feel like they're on the loose, but maybe that's like their ancestral lands. Are they on the loose, or are we encroaching in their space? Like, are they on the loose from where? Did they escape from a zoo? What are they doing in a zoo? Like, we're like, I don't, I'm like, I don't really even know how to articulate this confusion I have about animals in the context of like societies. Like I know that like like the antelope got shot up and ate up, or was it the antelope? But like it just seemed like it's like some like this violation and this violence toward nature, and like this idea that like as we move in and encroach and lay concrete and houses and all of this stuff, and then the animals have less and less space to go into, and then finally they like, shoot, I want to take a walk, and we're like, oh my God, there's a bear in the neighborhood. I mean, where are they supposed to go? I don't know. The mountains or forests is their home. Yeah, but some of these places that we live in was the mountains and the forests not too long ago. That's where they used to live. I mean, yeah, I don't know. So, I mean, maybe I'm just crazy, but I'm fascinated by these types of stories. 15 Kenyan families refused to take Boeing payout. Now, Boeing is like something going on with their plane. Remember this plane? It went down. I think it was coming from Ethiopia. I'm not sure, but here recently, a bunch of people died on a plane because of software. Like Boeing wants to charge more money for the software, and I think the Ethiopian Airlines hadn't. I'm not sure really what the story is. But then for a while, it was like, like when you fly, if you're flying a Boeing, are the Boeing safe to fly? Is the government in this country going to let the Boeings fly? The Boeing, whatever number it was being banned in other countries. And, but anyway, Boeing wanted to pay the people off. And the 15 families said, no, we're not taking it from Kenya. They're like, no, we don't want your money. And that story is off of thegrio.com. I didn't read that story either. But if you want to know more about it, there it is. Philadelphia art lover was tired of the lack of representation for Black children in Maine. So he did something about it. That's coming off of Atlanta Black Star. I like it's some artists, it's some artwork that I just really like. And for some reason, it's like, and I mean, I shouldn't say for some reason, but it's like really like vitalizing to me. Like I like there's certain artwork that I just really really like, and I miss being in environments that are like real art rich, visual arts. I mean, I feel that way about words too in a way, but the visuals are different. But yeah, like I feel like the more like reflections of like expression and love and beauty, and I like it. I like it. I like it. That's coming off of Atlanta Black Star. Arrest made after Black South African pastor pummeled by white men for wearing EFF cap. So this is coming off of Atlanta Black Star. Let's listen to this headline again. Arrest made after Black South African pastor pummeled by white men for wearing EFF caps. So EFF is like economic freedom fighters. It's some people in South Africa or in Southern Africa. I think it's in South Africa. But it might be in Zimbabwe. Yeah, I think it's in South Africa. They like, we want the land. After apartheid, everybody's like, yay, apartheid's over. But what really happened after apartheid? The same folks, pinks, grays, whites, whatever, who had a lot of the property, they continue to have a lot of the property. A lot of the good jobs, they continue to have a lot of the good jobs. The prosperity, the opportunities, they continue to have the opportunities and the prosperity. We're not here for that, says the AFF. We want to reclaim our land. You came in as colonizers. You took what is not yours, and we want to be able to live. We want to be able to be free. We want to be able to support ourselves. We want our skit back and gone somewhere. That's what they're saying. You can't negotiate with them. Kick them out. Yeah, Afrikaners. Um, but anyway, so these two, it was white men. So I don't know if it was two, but we know that it was at least two because it says men, and men is plural, and it was one pastor. So it's like at least two against one, and that fits the pattern, right? We've been talking about this a little bit today. This like bully modality that they have. But anyway, the arrest was made, so I guess they got the people, or they got the people who they think are the people who did the pummeling of the pastor. So that's coming off of Atlanta Black Star. China denies Muslim separation campaign in Xinjiang. I don't know why I've been so fascinated by what's, and it's been going on now. We've been talking about this on the news feed probably for about maybe 4 or 6 months, give or take a few months. And I think it's more give a few months. It's been a while. They've shown who they are for hundreds of years, says Sonia sees. They won't change. Yeah. And I think it's like high time that we really start trying to, like, asking to be able to see things for what they are and to understand things for what they are instead of what we wish they were, instead of what we're told that they are. Like, help us to just see things, God, for what things actually are. Like, help us to see truth and like really recognize truth. Because I mean, it's kind of like, that expression, like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And it's kind of like, how many times we have to be fooled? And I mean, I do understand we're in a context where there's a lot of propaganda, there are a lot of ideas, there's a lot of like input to have us, people are people, we all bleed under the skin. They just don't understand, they don't know any better. They just, we just have to teach them, we have to have compassion. Like, I mean, there is a lot of we hear that again and again and again in lots of different ways from lots and lots of different people. But is that true? Because I feel like it's hundreds of years of evidence to show one thing: all that marching and talking won't change them. It's some evidence to show that, as Sonia C says, all that marching and talking won't change them. MLK ruined us. Yeah. Now I think that there was like, that's a whole conversation. But I think that, yeah. I mean, where is the evidence? We need, help us to see the evidence, help us to see the truth for the truth. And just, yeah, and deal with the truth, because it's kind of hard if you're trying to get from point A to point B, but you can't really understand. Oh, let's say you're trying to get from point A to point Z, and you think that you're like at point B, but you're like at point negative Z. Like, if you don't know where you at, it's hard to like make a strategy and a plan to get to the place that you're trying to get to. Like, if you're trying to get to Cincinnati and you think you in Detroit, but you're actually in New York, and you navigating from Detroit to Cincinnati. If you in New York, it's not gonna get you. You're not gonna get to Cincinnati, baby. We gotta help us get it together. Give us clarity and insight and wisdom. Um, I don't know how I done scrolled out all of the stories. Ooh, it's a lot of stories here we haven't talked about too. Dang. Oh. Okay, here we are. So yeah, I don't know why I'm so obsessed with the Muslims. We ain't getting nowhere. We on a terror go round. A terror go round, says Sonia sees. So that's coming off of BBC. We've been talking about that story. Well, Facebook's another Facebook story. Will Facebook's digital money Libra be good for Africa? And that's coming off of moguldom.com. I like that story, not because I just think that it's really, really important for us to, we have to do our analysis for us in terms of what's good for us, in terms of how things affect us. Because a lot of times we just like take the analysis and it's not for us, it's not about us. And we like, so I just like the idea that they're actually analyzing something, at least from the headline, from the perspective of African people. So I'm here for that. Yay, moguldom. Duerte won't let up on deadly drug war amid calls for UN probe. He's like, I don't care nothing about the UN. I got 3 more years in this office. I'm about to kill everybody who I think is a druggie. I don't know if that's what's going on, but that's kind of the impression that I got. He out here just killing people. But he say they druggies. I don't know. I don't know. That's coming off of yahoo.com. Jeffrey Epstein, U.S. financier charged with sex trafficking. And this was a couple days ago when this was on my news feed, yesterday maybe, but it's hitting big today. It was on the news. Georgia deputy shoots black homeless man in the head. Family says man was sleeping and frightened. That's coming off of Atlanta Black Star. Just prayers and peace out to him and his family, and to all of us. European regulators demand changes to 737 MAX autopilot. I think that's the Boeing plane that we were just talking about with the Kenyan folks refusing to take the money from the buyout. That story is coming off of Engadget.com. Black superstars pitch Adidas shoes. Employees say workplace culture flow from gun shoot rooms. Oh, maybe that's just two different stories. Yeah, that's coming off of Atlanta Black Star. Black superstars pitch Adidas shoes. I think I was just trying to pull that story because I'm like, why the hell are we pitching Adidas, Nike, uh, food? We need to be pitching our companies. That just got on my nerves. But anyway, that's coming off of Atlanta Black Star. California about to become first state to ban natural hair discrimination in the U.S. We talked about that foolishness already. Three-fifths, three-fifths, three-fifths of my hair is okay. The other two-fifths is illegal. It don't exist. I don't want to see it. I'm not counting it. Get it out of my sight. Alaska heat wave. Anchorage hits record temperature. The last major opponent of China's Muslim oppression has retreated into silence. Here's why that's a big deal. China out here, China. I guess all of these countries be doing the most. The United States be doing the most. They ain't playing. They ain't playing out here. They will disappear you. Keep talking that stuff that they don't want to hear. That's how they roll. Are you afraid of being disappeared? Is that going to silence you? Is that going to make you shut up? Is that going to make you not do the right thing? Terrorism, terrorists. Hale Bailey will play Ariel in Disney's live action remake of The Little Mermaid. Y'all know that's been blowing up all over the place. The child is not Halle Berry's child or relative. I don't have to research that. But I keep being like, should I research it? Because people keep saying it. When I first saw it, I was like, Halle Berry. And then I realized, oh, that's Chloe and Hale, who were the two young women who were proteges of Beyonce. She needs a middle name. Oh, Hale. But is her name Halle or Hale? But anyway, I don't know. Anyway, I don't care nothing about no Disney and no Little Mermaid. But I guess I don't care. A lot of people are like, "Oh my gosh, I'm just it's a black. It just makes my life so much better. I'm so happier. I've watched all of the princesses. I love them, and I don't see anyone who looks like me, and so they feel better." So I don't know. I mean, that's just like out of my yeah. I just feel like Disney. That's one of their companies. We've been talking about Disney. I'm not here for no Disney. That's coming off of the griot, but you know the story is all over the place. Charlottesville drops Thomas Jefferson birthday holiday to instead honor the enslaved. That's coming off of thegriot.com. Disgusting. Black patrons allegedly profiled, booted from New Jersey bar over do-rags and headscarf. They need to bring some of that California legislation that's saying it's you illegal to have black hair. You can't have black hair accoutrement in New Jersey. They need to bring that over to New Jersey so the people there can be free too. Because of course, when you make laws, that's gonna make people free. But anyway, it's just SSDD, same stuff, different day. This type of racism didn't just start. Thousands take to streets to protest shooting of Ethiopian teen by Israeli cop. That story is coming off of Atlanta Black Star. The world over, there's stuff going on all over the world for black and brown black people. Yeah, and then these police states Germany and the US and Israel shared tips on and South Africa shared tips on how to oppress people in apartheid and Jim Crow, and they study each other, and they buddies. They like this. They like, yeah, you doing the damn thing. Keep them Negroes on the run. Keep them pushed down. Keep them jacked up. They all in cahoots. Happened yesterday, happens today, and will happen tomorrow. It's bad over there for blacks in Israel. Shoot, it's bad for over here for blacks here. Now, are you consciously doing that? Because Ayapo, that the what is it? Segregation today, segregation tomorrow. What was the bull counter? That's like, are you? Because yeah, when I say that, I'm like making a tongue in cheek reference to that. But are you doing that? Is that what you're doing? Okay. Um, Search for New Jersey couple who disappeared on jet ski in Barbados ends. I think that the search ended not because they found the couple, but I think the search ended because they were like, all right, we're finished searching. So a black couple disappeared in the Barbados. It's starting to be like this thing that it's like almost like, now I don't know if I necessarily believe this, but let's just like follow this path for a minute. We're not gonna go too far down it. But what if it's like black people are traveling more? The more that black people travel, the more comfortable they're going to be in the world, the more that they're going to know that there are other options for them other than America. So instead of letting the black folks escape and travel around the world, let's start offing them so that then all of the black folks get scared to travel and be like, I'm not going nowhere. I'm going to stay right here in America where it's safe. Because in Israel, they be killing Negroes. In the Dominican Republic, they be killing Negroes. In the Barbados, they be killing Negroes. So I'm going to stay right here where it's safe in the United States. Okay, I'm finished going down that path. I hadn't thought of it like that, but now that you mention it, does seem to go with it. So anyway, I'm finished going down that path, but it just kind of occurred to me right now. Okay. That story about the New Jersey couple is coming off of the Rio. So prayers out to them and their family. I mean, it just seems like it would be something for somebody to go away on vacation, to go away, hey, we're going on a, woohoo. And then they don't come back. I mean, but the thing about, this life we're living is that somebody could go out to the bank in the middle of the night and not come back. Somebody could go to the dollar store and the cops could pull a gun on them and kill them and not come back. Somebody could be going to relocate and start a new job and get pulled over for whatever they got pulled over for, arrested and never come back. Like, we just might never come back. And somehow we have to make peace with that. I don't know, but that's just like our reality. That's like really our reality. We need to travel more and more. There is no African community anywhere else on earth. I mean, real, like, I can't see that word. We're nomads. We don't have a home. It's like we're homeless. And I don't know how I feel like that. But I was listening to some videos. This was like a month or so ago about like different groups in Africa. Like it was something, I think it's called Home Team History, whose channel I was listening to. I hadn't listened to them for a while. But at that time, it was like one video was like the 10 top tribes in Africa that enslaved Africans in America, originated from likely. But what I noticed when I was listening to that video is that 2 or 3 of them, it seemed like they were nomadic tribes. And I'm like, oh, maybe, we're not meant to have homes. I mean, I'm a Cancer, and so home is important to me. But, maybe, homelessness or, not being attached to any place might be something that's in some of our blood. Like we're like a homeless tribe. Sonia, like Chinatowns. Yeah, see now, Ayapo, your China, even though you have it in all caps, it's still behind the plus sign. So it's not that I can't see it. It's just that it's like it has to scroll, like the next comment has to come and scroll up, and then I can see that part of the comment. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what a guan. That's what a guan. That's what a guan. What a guan with you. Okay. Dang, I only got one moderator. how many? I need to make some moderators. Do I need to make moderators? I don't even need to make moderators. Okay. Um, got privilege. White New Jersey judge asks rape victim not to ruin the life of alleged teen rapist who's from a quote good family end quote. He's from a good family. Just because he raped you, don't ruin his life. Just sacrifice yourself for him. Your family is trash. So whatever happened to you, that doesn't matter because his family is good. So he's more important than you. That story is coming off of Atlanta Black Star. Oh, I know what you mean. Oh, everybody loves you. Your eyes getting like Ayapos. I don't even know what that means. A woman has been banned from Walmart after she repeatedly ate half a cake. Oh, no, not repeatedly. I'm sorry. A woman has been banned from Walmart after she reportedly ate half a cake in the store and then refused to pay full price. So when she got to the register, she like, this cake is half eaten. And so I'm just gonna pay half price for it. But I don't know if they had her on camera or whatever showing that she ate the other half. She must have ate it because if you came, who is gonna go to a store and see half a cake and be like, oh, I'm gonna pick up half a cake that somebody ate and then I'll just get that one at a discount. That story is coming off of Business Insider. That's bold. That just sounds really that yeah, okay. Hawaii man, and this guy looked Asian. Now the thing about I was watching something about Hawaiians, and there's like there are some Hawaiians who are like Japanese, some Hawaiians who are like Polynesian, like they're but anyway, this guy looked Asian to me underneath it all. And I don't know, I'm not good with Asian, like, oh, he looks Japanese versus Chinese versus Korean. I'm sorry. I do apologize. I don't, he looked Asian to me. That's the best I got. Hawaii man wears blackface to court, Sharpie marker for his sentencing in road rage incident. And I think if I'm correct, this is a story where he said, "You treat me like a nigga. Excuse me. You treat me like an N word, so I'm gonna look like an N word." That story is coming off of Atlanta Black Star. Kenya flight death stowaway could be Nairobi airport employee, says authorities. Now, there's somebody who stowed away on a plane. I don't know if the person died. If they did, rest in peace. I'm like, how do you? I'm guessing it must be an employee. How do you stow away on a plane? I don't even know. Like that story is coming off of BBC, and it seems like this is the second time I saw something about it. I still haven't read the story, but a stowaway on a flight. I mean, you have to go through all kinds of stuff in the engine. No, you can't stow away in the engine. That's on your seas. Um, yeah, I don't know where they stowed away, and I don't know how you get on the airport. How you get on the airplane? They had to be an airport employee in the luggage. That's what I was thinking. And then it's like, what's the temperature like down there? They do transport animals on some flights underneath. So I don't really know. But yeah. Regal Cinemas movie subscriptions are reportedly coming this month. I don't know why I'm so obsessed with movie subscriptions. Because quiet as it's kept. I like to watch a movie when the temperature is comfortable. A lot of times I go in the movie, I'm freezing cold. I gotta wear my coat. I gotta wear my shirt. I gotta wear long sleeve. I gotta wear a big wrap around my whole body. And I'm sitting up there like this. And then I smuggled food into the movie, like my veggie burger or my chocolate bar or my sparkling water or my carrot and or my organic popcorn with nooch on it, whatever I've snuggled in. And then I have to worry, like, what if somebody reports me to the authorities because I've smuggled I've smuggled this food in. I like to watch movies where I can just like be like just, and then if I gotta get up and go to the bathroom, I can stop the movie. If I want to put something in the dryer, the washing machine, if I want to check, I don't like to go to the movie theaters. Although I do kind of like to, you go and it's like on the big screen and you see one movie after another movie after. I like to sneak in. I've never done this before, but I mean, I've heard of people who have, they might go like pay to like go to one movie and then, they use their phone to know what movies are going to be playing next. And then, they can get like a whole calculation to know, okay, this movie is an hour and a half, so it's going to be over around 3. And then 3:05, this movie is going to be starting here. And then, and you could, I've never done this before, but there are people who have spent the whole day in the movie theater just going from one movie to another movie. I mean, not me, but people, if I sneak in foods, I find most movies boring these days. If you're small, maybe in the overhead storage. No, because if in the overhead storage, it seems like people are opening them up, constantly opening and closing them up. So how long can you store away in the overhead storage? I think you're joking. We watched Imitation of Life. I've never seen that before last night. And there was a scene where the doctor is like in the room and then the doctor finishes his lines and then he just goes and he faces the wall. And it was so distracting for me. I'm like, why is he standing there facing the wall? I want to smuggle in food, a bottle of water, a bottle of wine, a couple of candles, a couple of people to play the violin while I eat. You need a really big coat for that. So Regal Cinemas, anyway, they have movie subscriptions that are coming this month. So I don't know. The morning after Facebook and Instagram's image outage. Now I was at work that day, and I kept every time I would go, because I work with social media, I couldn't get to the images, and then I was like on my Facebook feed, and it was just like all like, this image may contain a woman with earrings. This image may contain a lamp. This image may contain a fan. It was just like weird. And then, yeah. So, yeah. Watch African American woman confronts white Spirit Airlines passenger who allegedly refused to sit next to her. This story is coming off of Atlanta Black Star. So, me personally, I feel like if the woman didn't want to sit next to me, I would be like, good, because quiet as is kept. I've flown Spirit Airlines before, and it's like, this is how much space you have. So if her behind don't want to sit next to me, it's good because I'll have a little space. And I sure don't want to be sitting next to, rubbing elbows with, vibrating with, having your energy. Go on somewhere with that. I'm going to confront you. I don't know what the story is, but Spirit Airlines sucks. I've only had I've had good experiences with Spirit, and they're so inexpensive. But yeah, I'm not going to say what I was going to say. I am burning up. Okay. Um, that story is coming off. Imagine a race riot. The something. Um, yeah, I don't know what the situation is. I'm not criticizing the black woman because I feel like we be under. I mean, there's so much craziness and foolishness dealing with the pinks and the grays and the whites and the system that I don't even know. Blind bat, a race riot in the sky. Yeah, I'm a blind bat. You sound like the lady of Saffron and Son. You blind bat. So I don't know. I mean, I ain't mad at. I feel like everybody doing the best they can to maintain their dignity. To like, call, whatever. So I don't know. But that story I told you, Atlanta Black Star. Black leaders tried to ban indecent hip hop from radio stations in New York during the day. So I guess they don't want the hip hop. I don't know what's indecent hip hop. A lot of times, I'll be quite honest. I guess I'm at the age now where my ears just cannot hear a lot of the lyrics. So I don't really know what they're saying. So it's probably sometimes you'll be like, oh, look, and then you realize it's like, wait, what am I shaking to? Because I might, we might not this year. So premenopausal. Is that why I'm hot? It's getting hot in here. So take off all your. I am getting so hot. I want to take my Y'all don't know nothing about that. Okay. R. Kelly asked judge to stop ex-wife Andrea Kelly from blasting singer publicly. Hot mama. Um, I don't know. I always feel like Andrea Kelly seems conflicted in her interviews. Like I don't really know. Yeah, and it's like it's a mess. That whole situation is a mess. I'm sick of him. That story is coming off of Atlanta Black Star. So Sonya sees is sick of him. She probably won't be checking for that story. I ain't checking for the story. I don't. I think it was just like the idea of whenever I've seen that woman, his ex wife in interviews, it's just like I have so many questions. Yeah. Um. Netflix says its originals will kick their smoking habit. I guess a lot of people smoke on Netflix originals. They're not going to do it anymore, I guess. That's Engadget.com. New bacteria phobic material could stop the spread of superbugs in hospitals. I don't like hospitals. I don't trust hospitals. I don't like these new and improved chemicals from this system. I don't trust them. I don't believe in them. I don't know. I guess I'm jaded. That's coming off of yahoo.com. Oklahoma man struggles to, oh, thank you, sweetie. Oklahoma man struggles to recover after racist attack by two white men. So again, a man was attacked by two men, like bullies. Why is it two against one? Why are you proud of that? Where's the righteousness of your struggle when you don't play fair? You know anything about playing fair? I don't think they know anything about playing fair. Oklahoma man struggles to recover after racist attack by two white men left him with broken ribs, dizziness, and memory loss. That's coming off of Atlanta Black Star. So prayers out to that man, his family, his community, and again all of us, because an assault on one of us is an assault on all of us. When they attack one of us, it's to let all of us see and know and understand. A lot of times, like during the time of enslavement, the chattel enslavement, the old form of it back in the day that supposedly we got free from, they would beat people in front of you make all the people watch so that because they want us to get a lesson, they want the babies to get a lesson, they want us to, it's for all of us, it's for all of us, it's an assault on all of us, it's a battery of all of us. So prayers out, to him specifically and all of us generally for health and healing and strength. Amazon rainforest indigenous people in fight for survival because the people, just like how we were talking about the animals, like it's like they just try to infringe on everything and push everybody out into little bitty spaces, and then when you just want to take a walk and live and be free and have your livelihood, you don't have anything because they have everything, or it seems like they have everything. So the indigenous people are in a fight for survival. That's coming off of BBC. Thousands turn out to see rare solar eclipse in Chile. That's coming. That was a couple few days ago. This y'all can tell it's old. Reparations draft. I guess they got a draft of what's up. I'm not following it. I just don't follow it because I don't believe it. It's like a drama. It's like political theater that I'm just like, I'm not interested in it, I guess. I don't know. That's coming off of moguldom.com for those who are interested, who want to know more, catch up, stay up with that situation. PlayStation Classic price drops to $25 at Best Buy Amazon. So I guess the PlayStation was like $100 and then it went down to $75 and it went down to, and the people, they didn't like it. But the people in this article, they saying, well, we didn't like it for 100, but you might like it for 25. So that's what's going on Amazon and with the PlayStation Classic. Sudan tomb diver reveals Pharaoh's secrets. That's coming off of BBC. I didn't read the story. Australian student released in North Korea says, I'm okay. There was a new one. I know we were talking about that Otto Warmbier, but there was a new guy. He was Asian, but he looked Asian. He was Australian. But anyway, yeah, that story was going on. Who filed a lawsuit against Rihanna's Fenty Beauty? Apparently, it was a group that didn't get the proper access. I think the people were saying the blind people can't use your website. That's what I think, but I don't really remember. That's coming off thegrio.com. Influencers pay double. The ice cream truck defying Instagram freebies. The ice cream truck guy is like, my ice cream costs $4 a cone, and I'm sick and tired of y'all. I'm sick and tired of these people coming and being like, oh, I'm a social media influencer. My name is Angela with Be Fabulous You, and I want free ice cream because I'm going to tell all of my people about you. And so you should give me free ice cream. You're like, it's $4. And now y'all done got on my nerves so much. Y'all asking for free stuff. I don't need your free publicity because I got a good product. And if you tell me you're an influencer, instead of it being $4, you're going to pay $8. How about that? And he put the sign up and everything. The ice cream truck man. That's coming off of BBC. I guess it's in Canada. Heavy rains in Japan caused deadly landslides and floods. So prayers out to the people dealing with that. Pennsylvania man facing charges after taking it upon himself to pin down black teen at park over vandalism claims. That's coming off of Atlanta Black Star. UK police is facial recognition system has an 81% error rate. 81% of the time it's wrong. It's a facial recognition program. It seems like somebody got a good joke, like facial misrecognition. I mean, it's something wrong now. Like 81% wrong. You wrong 81% of the time. Latest group says 54 migrants rescued north of Libya. That's coming off of Yahoo News. Family Reunion creator Meg Deloach dishes on what she wants Hollywood to realize about black sitcoms. I guess it's a black sitcom coming. I think one of the twins, Tia or Tamara, is in it. I don't know. I've been following them girls all my life, watching them here and there. And yeah. Many missing as migrant boat sinks off Tunisia. So prayers out to those people, migrants, the world over, displaced people, nomads, people who are repressed and oppressed on their land and are trying to find freedom and to escape from a place and go someplace where they think that they can have freedom and dignity. It kind of sounds like us. So prayers out to all of us who are seeking freedom and dignity. I'm kind of sick of mulattoes in TV and films. Fake show. Look, Ayabo, you are so smart. Fake show recognition. That's so smart. Okay. Samsung under fire for its Australian advertising. I don't really know what that is. Court says Amazon could be liable for third-party vendors' products. That's coming off of Engadget.com. Lost files. FBI reveals they're unable to locate files on well-known white supremacist forum. So they like, you talking about the files that we had on the white supremacists? Where we done lost them files. I don't know where them files are. We just can't find them, says the FBI about the white supremacist files. That's because it's probably full of all of their names and they ain't ready to come out yet. I mean, I'm just saying maybe that's what it is because I don't know, of course. That's coming off of Atlanta Black Star. Soon, nearly a third of U.S. consumers will regularly make payments with their voice. So you'll just be able to say, pay telephone bill, and the thing will recognize your voice, and then you'll be able to pay with your voice. A third of U.S. consumers. It says soon, a third. That's 33%. If it's three of us in the room, that means one of us about to be paying with a voice. Where are the files? Well, what had happened was that I think Ray, he no, it was Mo. And then I paid it already. It's in the mail. Uh, um 13 people killed after wall collapses from heavy rains in India. So prayers out to those people who lost their lives making their transition, their families and community. All of these, you notice in all of these like weather stories, right? I'm not talking about it, but anyway, prepaid card transactions will hit 396 billion by 2022, and new players like Apple, Amazon, and Venmo are trying to gain share. I don't care nothing about these businesses. Naomi Osaka's humiliating first round loss at Wimbledon was the latest misstep in her sudden fall from world number one. Osaki, that's the little. She's Haitian. Her her father is Haitian and her mom is Japanese. I think she identifies as black. Um, I think I don't know, but anyway, that was Osaki because last year we were talking about Naomi Osaki or whatever. We talked about her before in the context of tennis, but she had her but that's you win some, you lose some. You can't so yeah. Mumbai deadly floods bring India's financial capital to a standstill. Facebook's new policy or Facebook. I mean, it's just Facebook, Facebook. All I can talk about is Facebook today. Facebook, Facebook, Facebook. New policy banning white nationalism ignores content that does not explicitly use the term white nationalist, white nationalism. That's their system. Oh, you know how we gonna catch the white nationalists? We gonna catch all the people who call themselves white nationalists. Okay, Facebook. I can tell you're trying real hard and you're using all of your brain power because you really want to catch them. 10 things to know about the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. I think we need to know more about Garvey. This story is coming off of mogultum.com. I'm glad to see them doing that story. But Marcus Garvey was rather awesome and amazing. I think that's like somehow we don't understand. Like, I know, like, it's like a lot of times I'll learn things about him and I'm like, he really had engaged quite a bit of people throughout the world. Like, he was really about something. He was really. I don't know. I just feel like we need to know more. Yeah. I'm humbled. Will Smith thanks fans after Aladdin becomes highest grossing film of his career. Highest grossing film of his career. Somebody tweeted the other day. So he said he's a black man sitting in a bottle waiting for somebody to rub it, hoping that he can get free. They rub the bottle when he got to provide service to the people he's enslaved, and he won his freedom like all of the rest of us. And I guess this movie has given Will Smith. Is he free yet? Because he's relatively wealthy. Is he free now? I don't know how it works. Garvey was awesome in what he did. Um, yeah. So anyway, that's coming off of Atlanta Black Star. Climate change, heat wave made at least 5 times more likely by warming. That's coming off of BBC. Bird feeding chick cigarette. Oh, bird feeding chick like baby cigarette captured in a picture. So the bird was feeding the baby a cigarette butt. The bird's instinct don't tell the bird that that's not food. Are they eating cigarette butts because they do something productive? Like, it sounds so disgusting and awful. Why is the bird feeding its baby a cigarette butt? Is so many cigarette butts like have we confused and disoriented the birds? What's going on? And his wife and kids. I'm sick of Will and his wife and kids. The beige supremacy. They out here being supreme. Um, it's time for Washington State to restore the 40-hour work week. I don't even know what that means. This is coming off of thestand.org. The Stand. Is that right? No, that's wrong. TheStand.org. So Washington State doesn't have a 40-hour work week. Now TheStand.org, they do like labor and stuff like that. I heard Seattle was dying, full of crime and druggies. Wow. Okay. New data finds black home buyers, despite their income, are more than twice as likely than whites to be denied mortgage. We were talking about the black tax. That's same stuff, different day, same stuff, different situation. It's the same stuff. It's we pay more for less, just in situation after situation after situation throughout time. This system, it's the system. It's that's what the system. That's the system. That's coming off of Atlanta Black Star. If you want to read that story, I've been listening on Facebook to African History Network. So yeah. So anyway, here I don't really get to like listen, but like because he do like you may not know, but he from Detroit. He Michael Imhotep. I think that's what it is. He do like 2 or 3 hour. I don't know, and I don't know how often he's on, but usually sometimes I'll just put it on in the background. Happened yesterday, happened today, will happen tomorrow. Like you're gonna keep saying that yesterday, today, and tomorrow. SSDD. SSDD. Yep. Yep. It's the same stuff. It is. Okay. White Florida deputy points gun at black man in traffic stop that began with easygoing chat. So they just chit chatting, and then the white guy pulled a gun on him. But that's same stuff, different day. That's typical, isn't it? Is that a surprise? Are we shocked? That story is coming off of Atlanta Black Star. Dozens die in petrol tanker blast in Nigeria. Hmm. So prayers out to those people who made their transition. I know they do like a lot of oil, like people have oil money in Nigeria. So I guess that's the whole petrol tanker blast. I'm not really, but that's coming off of BBC. Where do stowaways hide on planes? So y'all had some theories in the overhead bin, in the engine, in the luggage area, but the BBC.com has done a whole story on it. So if you want to check that out. Chinese officials reportedly installed a surveillance app on tourist phones. You coming into their country, they like, I want to know everywhere you go. Put this app on so I know what's up. I can listen. We can surveil you. That's coming off of Engadget.com. Apollo Theater, Ta-Nehisi Coates named inaugural artist in residence and to launch book tour. That's coming off of thegrio.com. I've never read any of his work. Terror goes round and round for 500 years now. It will stop. It will stop. Anything that starts is going to have to stop at some point. Nothing lasts forever except for God. Anything that has a beginning has an end. This hasn't been going on forever, so it's not going to go on forever. Ashe. Ashe. Oh, because that's where you stole things. That ain't even funny. I'm not laughing at that. I'm not interested in Ta-Nehisi. I've never read his work, but people were like, "Woo!" Like probably about 3 or 5 years, 5 to 7 years, whatever. Um, Sudan protest group says 2 leaders arrested. That's coming off of Yahoo.com. Uber plans boat service in Nigeria, expansion in Francophone Africa. That's coming off of Moguldom.com. Moguldom.com. Dr. Claude Anderson. Dr. Claude Anderson. Um, Corey Coco Golf, 6 fast facts to know about the tennis phenom who beat idol Venus Williams. Yeah, that's coming off of Atlanta Black Star. That's old, but not that old. Amber Geiger's aunt says the fatal shooting death of Botham Jean was not a lynching. Botham Jean, I think, was the young man who was in his apartment, and the white woman said that she thought that she was going to her apartment and she went into his apartment. And I think they might have had something going on. I'm not really sure. But then she executed him. She killed him. And the murderers, the off-duty cops, she says the fatal shooting was not a lynching. So since she said it, it must be true because her aunt said it. TheGrio.com, that story is coming off the Grio. Houston mayoral candidate faces scrutiny for his "keep your legs closed" comments to high schoolers. That's coming off TheGrio.com. Researchers create eye tracking glasses that autofocus where you look, so they can tell what you're looking at. And soon they're gonna be able to autofocus on your thoughts. They're gonna be able to tell what you're thinking. Yeah, she'll get off. You talking about the executioner of Botham Jean, rest in peace. Grace Jones wasn't having the BS. Reportedly quit new Bond movie after minutes on the set. She's like, I've only been on the set for minutes, and I already know I'm not for it. I'm not with it. Bye bye. That's Grace Jones. Report: Nike pulls 4th of July sneakers after Kaepernick intervenes. This is old, obviously, but the most important thing is that, first of all, I never even really knew about the Bessie Johnson flag. This flag that they got here ain't skit. All of these flags don't represent nothing. What do I care? One flag or another flag? Ain't none of them about nothing for me, about other than the oppression and the downtrodden and the rape and exploitation and disassociation from my culture. Which flag is the good flag? You know which flag is the good flag. But where I was, the people at the work, oh, Nike, they mad. On the social media, the people they wasn't hot. They was just like a little warm, a couple of them. UN Sudan health supply shortages exacerbated by crisis. That's coming off of Yahoo.com. Roku continues to dominate TV streaming in the US. I think we have Roku here. Roku. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. That's coming off of Engadget.com. Black Barbie doll in wheelchair is a major hit on Twitter. So they have a black Barbie doll in a wheelchair. She is a major hit on Twitter. You can read about it on thegrio.com, GRIO.com. WTF, woman goes viral for disgusting ice cream prank. Bluebell responds to safety concerns. Is old. UN food agency steps up relief for Congo refugees, coming off of Yahoo. Epidural stuck in young mom's back during childbirth, leaving her in agonizing pain for days. That's coming off of thegrio.com. I was just going to say it was probably a black woman, and they probably just, yeah. And that's it. I've actually looped back to the last time we got together. I don't know. Shoot, this kind of wore me out. But since I am intermittent fasting, at least I'm not hungry. Because I think my system has reset. But that's it. That's all I got for you. What are you looking forward to? What's exciting coming up in your life? You spending time with family and friends? You connecting skin to skin, heart to heart, lip to lip with somebody? Let me see if I can get in this thing. So I'm about to go, and y'all don't have to go home, but you're going to have to, get on out of here. Anything else? Any exciting stories that you want to share? Eating cleaner. Yay, that's exciting. I don't really like handicapped models and vitiligo albino models. I don't find it attractive at all. Kill me. Yes, we have Roku and Fire Stick. She bowed out gracefully. Talking about Grace Jones says Ayafo. For some reason, I like the people with vital. I I don't know. I just like looking at different kinds of people, different sizes, different shapes, different colors, because I just think people are interesting. Y'all know how I am. I'm just I just like the people. And it's like you get tired. You get tired. I get tired of seeing the same thing over and over. I just like some variety, some stimulation, something to cause you to look at stuff different and reset your eyes and reset your perspective so that you can what leave. I will, but I will be at home. When I leave, I will be at home. So that's it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you came in late, you can loop back once it gets uploaded and watch the beginning of the broadcast. If you had to leave early or your friend had to leave early, let your friend know that they can come back on and listen to the end of the broadcast. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and all that other good stuff. Tell your friends. Hey, hey, hey. Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. Who you gonna be if you ain't you? Who we gonna be if we ain't we? Who you gonna be if you ain't you? Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. Oh shoot. I forgot to do the snake. I was supposed to be bringing the snake back or keeping the snake alive because, of course, the snake never went anywhere. All right, that old R&B. Peace. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you being here. Hey, I got a thumbnail up. I'm live streaming from actually in the YouTube app, so it's like life is good. Today is the best day ever, and you are the greatest. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are blessed and a blessing. Go out and touch somebody's life by doing what you do best. Peace. 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 And black love.